All right, we'll do it live. Come into the room, 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 come into the room. All right, welcome back. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple print. Okay. Welcome back, you guys. No, my name ain't Baby, it's Danie. Miss Steel if you're nasty. Okay, get it right. Get it right. Welcome back. Okay. I wanted to bring you guys this message earlier this morning, but it's been a little hard recovery coming out of this hurricane situation that we had here in the Northeast. We didn't get out unscathed. I'll tell you that. So we had a little rough bit of it. Okay. And just trying to decompress after all of that has like really been my focus. You know, I mean, you got to take care of yourself. You can't help other people if you don't take care of yourself. So I wanted to bring you guys this message a little earlier this morning, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chill a little bit more and I'll bring it when I want to. And here I am. Okay. Here I am. Uh-oh. Rocked you like a hurricane. All right. All right. Was it too soon? Too soon? You know, I hope not. I hope not. I'm not trying to be that facetious, but you know, I mean, this hurricane situation was kind of scary. A lot of people lost their lives in the flooding, and you know, I believe that has more to do with the poor infrastructure that America has for its citizens than anything else. Welcome, come into the room. So, hopefully, any one of you that have gone through this, I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you're warm and safe now. I mean, it's climate change. It's climate change. All right. And you don't just get hurricanes with the climate change. I mean, you had a hurricane move across land, develop tornadoes. But you want to tell me man, bear, pig isn't real? Man, bear, pig isn't real? Al Gore was wrong? No, he wasn't. You know, it's a lot of you can have your allegiances and all that yada yada, but you gotta use common sense. Something is happening here. Something's going on in the world. You know, we gotta start doing better because this feels like some biblical-ish. This feels like some biblical-ish on some biblical proportions. Scary. Very scary. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about today in terms of the topic of this video, right, is something that came to me as I was watching A&E's intervention. Now, I'm a person that has probably seen every episode of intervention that there is, except for the new ones. And so I was catching up on the new ones, right? And there was a young man on one of the newer episodes of Intervention Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas! All right. And I hope this video touches the heart and minds of anyone that it applies to, right? Because the question that I have to ask for you today is, why do you seek approval from people who don't accept you? This young man in Vegas was adopted. He's from Russia and he was adopted by an American family, a very religious American family. I forgot his name and I'm so like tempted to be like Igor, and you know, like I'm not trying, like I love Russia. I mean, I don't know much about it, but I love all the continents. No shade, no shade. Oh God, I hope is Russia a continent? Oh God. Anyways, okay, so Russia is great, and I actually I had a good friend from Russia. This is a sidebar. I had a good friend from Russia when I was in high school. Her name was Vera. So, Vera, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well. I used to ask Vera, why was Russia always cloudy in movies? Because I asked her when we were in high school, I said, is Russia a scary place? Because American cinema always showed Russia like, you know, it's like, we're not going to fight in America. It's too lame. We must go to Russia, And I was like, they're always going over to Russia to get the bad guy. And it's always cold and rainy and cloudy. And I would ask Vera if Russia was like this. And she said, no, it is beautiful, And I was like, oh my God. Like, so I'm blessed that I've always been inquisitive and asked people questions and not just gone by what I think when it comes to learning about the world. So I don't believe that Russia is always cloudy and rainy anymore, even though that's what American cinema wants you to believe. So this young man, but I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, and I like want to call him like Igor or like Igor or something. Damn. All right, I'll call him Evan. Okay. Evan was adopted from Russia. All right, this is an A&E intervention episode, Las Vegas. And this man is in his early 20s. He's like 25 and he's already an alcoholic, right? And what happened was he was adopted into a family by a middle-class religious white American family. And then the parents got divorced. And then the kids lived with the mother, and the mother had mental issues. The family consisted of various ethnicities and races, like the 8 siblings he had. And he was only like has a good relationship with one of the siblings, his sister. And, they talked about how hard their childhood was because they had to constantly fight for the attention of their parents, right? And these parents have that savior complex that we've talked about in previous videos of mine, right? That savior complex where it's like it's an appetite, right? And sometimes you have an appetite and you're like, oh yeah, I can eat all of this. And then when it gets to eating it, you realize I can't eat all of this. I physically cannot. That is the same thing when it comes to these saviors, these wannabe saviors, right? These people with a savior complex. And a lot of people who adopt and or foster have a savior complex. They're not approaching the situation, understanding the reality of the situation. They come in with a savior complex. And what do saviors expect? Saviors expect to be praised. Oh, hello, sun goddess. Hello, sun goddess Ari. Welcome. Good to see you. Saviors expect to be saved. And so he had a narcissistic mother. This will come into discussion later because we talk about narcissistic family members on this channel. Okay. And again, you can be like, what the hell's going on? I know, because you saw the caption and you were like, it says something about dust. And you came running over here thinking that I was going to be one of these content creators that talks about what men do and how they let you down. And we got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger fish to fry. Not everyone dates men. Right? Not everyone's the same. All men aren't the same. And as you guys know, I'm here to educate and enlighten and have some fun while doing it, right? And I don't know how much you can really grow when you keep having the same conversations. For me, it gets to a point where you must evolve, you must grow, and you must change. That's just me. So, this young man Basically, he came to realize that he was gay, right? And he got into politics. And they wouldn't say which politics, but it wasn't the left. All right? It wasn't the left. Interesting, right? Because he's gay, but he chose to get into politics on the right because he's from the Midwest, right? And I would say no shade, but I'm pretty sure no one from the Midwest is watching this channel because I've met a few people from the Midwest, and I mean, I've met some black people from the Midwest that are amazing. I've met some POC like, I'm not gonna, I can't. All I'm gonna say is I've met some white people from the West that just acted like they were just like, I'm just going to treat you like a stereotype, right? It was very bizarre. It was very, very bizarre, especially because I'm not a person that will role play. People expect you to role play when they meet you, right? Who has more money, who has more class, who has more connections, who's more popular, who knows more people, who's older, who's whiter. Nah, we ain't doing that. I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. I really don't care who you are. I really don't care. That's just me. You're going to get the same respect that I give everyone. And that's based on your understanding of respecting me. Okay. So this young man gets into politics, his parents divorce, then he comes out, right? And his religious, right-sided family disowns him. Pretty much all of them, besides the dad and the sister, right, disown him. His mother never spoke to him again. His adopted mother, right? And keep in mind, this young man has already been abandoned by his birth mother, right? That's a lot of rejection. That is a lot of rejection. The average person doesn't know. As someone that grew up in foster care, I can relate. And so he became an alcoholic because in his political party, he was told, simmer down on expressing your sexuality because it's not a good look in politics. That's what he was told, right? So he felt rejected. And that made him depressed. He felt rejected from his political party. That made him depressed. He felt rejected from his mother, both his mothers, right? And his siblings. That made him depressed. And he was also abused by, which is something that happens a lot in the foster care system, and especially in group homes. And if you have more than 5 kids in your home, hell, even 3, if you have more than 3 kids in your home, you're really looking at a situation where there can be abuse going on between the siblings that you're not even aware of if you don't pay attention to your kids. It happens all the time in group homes, where older kids abuse younger kids. And so they won't say that an adult abused them because they don't have the experience of an adult abusing them, but they have an experience of some teenager, right? This older kid abusing them when they're a child. It happens in group homes and foster homes across America. And it happened in this adoptive home for this young man. He was abused. There were so many of them, and his parents didn't pay attention. He was being abused by one of the older adopted siblings. That made him want to drink, right? And then one of the siblings called him, and it triggered him because he hadn't spoken to him in like 10 years. I get it. But I mean, this guy is like stumbling over drunk, right? He's like out in public, stumbling, falling over, can't control himself, right? And I really wondered, why does he seek the approval of these people? Look how they have harmed him, right? I mean, you want to be bold. You want to be into politics. You want to express yourself and live life on your terms. And you know you're coming from this ultra conservative family that doesn't have the same mentality. Why do you hold on to one day they will accept you? People with limited minds, people with limited points of view, they don't even accept themselves. They don't even accept themselves. They accept no one. They accept ideologies. They accept hierarchies, right? The hierarchies I just explained. Who's got more money? Who's got more fame? Who's got more clout? Who's got more proximity to the dominant society? Who's stronger? Who has more connections? These are things that people put other people through. So you have to ask yourself, when you make a choice to be who it is you want to be in this world, why are you still seeking approval from people that and accept it? Why are you still seeking acceptance, right, from people who don't approve of you? Why are you still seeking approval from people who don't accept you? If you accept yourself, we're done here. If you accept yourself, then that's it. There's no way that you can negotiate that. And that's why I move the way that I move. I move very certain at this point in my life. It was a certainty that I had when I was younger, but I lost it along the way of meeting people who were very jealous and conniving, and you know, you think they have good intentions and they don't, right? I lost my sense of self. That's the whole point. They want you to forget who you are because they don't know who they are. They've never known who they are. They've never known who they are. So they want you to forget who you are. If you know who you are, the approval of others is irrelevant. It just is. you know Now, of course, you would like people to approve of you so that you can get jobs and you can, move about in a certain way. Maybe you want people to like you, even, of course. But to compromise yourself and to sacrifice yourself and your sanity, right? You got to think about that. Are these relationships worth maintaining if it's at the cost of your sanity? What are you holding on to? I know for me in my life, I got to a point with my estranged family where I was being more and more gracious in our encounters, um, and I was getting more and more shit. I was getting more and more BS, right? Because people don't like when you treat them nicely. There's a sad reality. People don't actually like when you're nice to them. That's a myth. The proof? I like to be nice to people. I like to be nice to my Steelies. Welcome. If you're in the room, please thumbs up and subscribe. Right? I like to be nice to my Steelies. I like to be nice to my subscribers. Right? But I don't have a lot of subscribers. But you know who does? People who are mean as hell to their subscribers. That's who. That's who. And not all of them, of course. No, no, no. Right? Um, there's different circumstances for different people, but I think especially when it comes to a certain audience, that a lot of y'all like, you know, the whole being yelled at thing, right? That's not something I tolerate. So that's why it's not something that I'm going to do. I like to speak loudly. I'm passionate, when I can be that. I started thinking about the golden child, right? We're talking about the black sheep on this channel. I started thinking about the golden child. The golden child. The elusive golden child, right? Mama's favorite. Everyone's favorite. Does everything right. Everyone loves this child, right? When they think of the group of siblings, right? They think of this child, the golden child. And I tweeted the other day. Hold on. I'm gonna catch up on some of Sun Goddess Ari's comments. I'm missing you here. We get back to that golden child. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you're in the room. We will discuss that in a video soon, Sun Goddess Ari. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss this. They don't have exactly. You are well. There we go. There we go, Sun Goddess Ari. You just said it. You just said it. You know exactly what's up, especially the nice guys. Nice guys finish last. Well, you are the outcast. I'm sorry, guys. Nice guys finish last. All right? Didn't CLB teach you that? Didn't CLB teach you that? Certified lover boy, no feelings. He gave him he said, I gave him the blueprint. They don't want to follow it. Not everybody can do what CLB can do, right? And that's okay. If you notice a guy likes you, you can notice how people feel about you. You can feel it, right? And if you notice a guy likes you, but he's not assertive about approaching you, take your time, right? Like, give him some time if he's someone that you interact with a lot. If he's not, you'll miss him. It is what it is. That's why they end up marrying ugly. Oh, shit. Oh, I went too far. I went too far. Yeah, that's why a lot of nice guys end up marrying nice enough looking women because they don't have the courage to ask out beautiful women. Damn, all these beautiful girls, they only wanna do your dirt. They'll have you. Okay, I don't think you can say that word on here. Nice guys want mean girls. It's the truth. Yep. Be mean to men. No, oh, God. You can't say that on here. Damn it. Be mean to guys that act like they want a woman to be mean. Yeah. You got to give them what they want. Give them what they want. They love it. They love it. They want to sit up there and act like, and we gonna get on that. That's another video. That's another video about where they want y'all to be. Where they want y'all to be. Where I wanna be. Where they want you to be. In the dust with them. Dust in your booty crack. Because the dust is everywhere. They want you to be in the dust. I'm going to talk about it more on another video, but you ever notice how they're like, take off that wig and take off that makeup and do what? Sit in the dirt with you? The fuck? Why? Like, why? That's not a Western society mentality. I want you guys to understand that. And when we talk about capitalism, I'm going to do a whole video about it, but I have to segue real quick with this. Because I want you to understand, I'm here for it. I'm here for the conversation. Okay? They want you in the dirt. They want you in the dust. Take off your wig. Take off your makeup. Why do they want you to walk around looking all bland and not expressing yourself? You know where they did that? Where did they just do that? The people had to cover up the pictures of the beautiful women with their hair worn long and their makeup because this rebel group is coming to assert control. They want you to live in places like that. That's why they call it Blackistan. That's why I call it Blackistan. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be so honest with you guys. Going to PWIs my whole life, like I said, I grew up in the hood. Everybody know that. Going to PWIs my whole life, most of my Black friends have always been from the middle class and or wealthier, right? And are doing pretty well today. They don't talk about this stuff. All of this stuff that's on Black YouTube. Listen very carefully. ASMR time for Black YouTube. Nobody with money talks about any of this ish. Now, are they right for it? I don't agree. No, that's why I talk about some of the stuff, because I'm like, I don't agree that like we don't talk about a lot of the real issues, right? Because all people talk about is like making money, what they're going to do on vacation, what they're doing on their jobs, where they want to go, and whatever, you know, the Democrats tell them to say. That's it. They don't have these bizarre conversations on here, right? It's one of the reasons that I like to partake in them, because I'm like, ooh, this is fun. It's fun to me, right? But it's just something that is very taboo for Black people with money. That's why, it is what it is. There's a certain type of people that do it, and it's usually not Black people that come from money. Now, you could grow up in the suburbs, but I'm talking about money. I'm talking about a little bit of wealth. Okay? Anyways, let me get back to this kid. Thank you, Melinda. Come on, Melinda. Come on, Melinda. Come on. I cannot have a conversation with an adult who has their parents' agenda and their parents' wants and needs running in their head, and that's how they interact with people based on what mommy told me when I was 6. You have to become your own person if you're gonna have a conversation with me. I cannot do it. Let's get back to, and see, I paused on Ethan, telling you the story about Ethan, right? But I've told you guys up to the point, okay? Ethan started getting addicted to alcoholic, because he was mad that his family, his narcissistic mother and her narcissistic children, didn't accept him. She black sheeped him. She placed him in a role where he is going to be seen as the outsider to this brainwashed, narcissistic, and or codependent group of people. That is how they will forever interact with him. And he's drinking himself to death because of their effing opinions? Come on. Who the hell are they? Who the hell are they? Outside of their little clan, outside of their little clique, they're usually nobody. They're usually nobody, these narcissists. That's why they have to create worlds where there's somebody. You're a black sheep because you don't need to when I put on a show. You don't need to put on a show. You don't need to put on a show when you're at home with family, but they do. Because that's how narcissist works. And you sitting at home drinking and crying because these brainwashed, mentally deluded individuals don't like you, won't put you first. They won't put their own, don't let me go there. A narcissist can put no one but themselves first. Their children, their spouses, no one cometh before the narcissist. Understand that. No one cometh before the narcissist. So what you crying for? you interact with them, everything you do is fake. Everything you do, every interaction with them is fake and phony. I don't care what they say. I was watching an episode and this guy was like, another intervention episode, and it was a biracial Native American guy. His mom was white, his dad was Native. His dad was an alcoholic. He became an alcoholic. He was also a young guy, also in Las Vegas. And his sister was like, "Oh, we love you." And he was like, "I don't feel like you love me." She's like, "But we do." That's some gaslighting shit. That is some gaslighting shit. For you to express to someone, "I don't feel loved by you," and for them to say, "Well, I do." Oh, okay. I'm going to keep hanging out with you then, right? I'm going to keep giving you my precious time because you said it. You said it. Even though I don't feel it, it must be so because it's out your mouth, right? Because they know that you actually have love for them and that they're not capable of love. That's why they'll say, "But we do love you." It's gaslighting. When I realized that I had a funny feeling about a lot of people that I was around for a lot of my life for a reason. That funny feeling, like you don't really F with me. You really don't F with me. I got siblings that don't even F with me. After everything I did for them, they don't want to F with me. Right? Because I don't behave in the way they believe I should be behaving. Right? But they'll come to my shows. They'll come to my shows and get a little bit of that limelight. Right? They want to be on your channel. They want a shout out. Right? But they don't really with you. And none of my other family members fuck with me neither. Because everybody knows the deal. I'm here to break the wheel. My children won't even know y'all niggas existed. Did you know that? Did you know that? My children won't even know they existed. I'm gonna have black and white paintings of y'all on the wall. Looking like it's the fucking 1800s. Like, yeah, these niggas used to be around. But they ain't know how to act. Look at them. Look at them with their scarcity mindset. There goes the old so-and-so. Never could keep her mouth shut. All right, I'm gonna let them know what the hell I had to go through. But it is what it is. I refuse to put my children through the chaos, the dysfunction that I was put through and told this is normal. Hi, Melanie Sunshine. Welcome. Okay, look at that. It can happen with one sibling. With one, they play these games. Understand, if you have a narcissistic parent, it's usually the mother. It's usually the mother. If you have a narcissistic parent, they will make a golden child, the child that can do no wrong, the child that, they can do wrong, right? But they quickly will try to get back into the graces of their narcissistic mother. Whereas you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Me when I was a kid, I was taking notes for CPS. I was documenting times, baby. I was up there trying to create the first cell phone, send a SOS. Huh? I don't do that. I was like, "Oh no, what's this? Where did you do that at?" I wasn't used to that. No. I just know my soul didn't come down here for that ratchet-ish. So I didn't handle abuse the way other kids handled abuse. I was ready. I was like, lock them up. Lock them up. But it gets to a point where it's so often that you normalize it, right? The narcissist creates this golden child, and that golden child, what that assigned sibling does is structure their whole life around the approval of that narcissistic parent, so much so that they will continue the abuse of the narcissistic parent because that's all they know is that role playing. And I tell my students this. I tell my students that are like, I'm at school and I'm being bullied. I said, look, listen, I grew up poor. I had people, they were trying to bully me when I was in school. And let me tell you something. You know who bullied me the best? White people and PWIs, because everybody knows that they were, entitled to do so. Because racialized bullying, right, is not taken seriously at all. And they definitely wasn't going to put no hands on me. But anyways, I tell my students about bullying. Look, these people are coming from homes where they're being bullied. And they want to, now they leave home where they're the ones bullied. And they want to come to school and pretend like they're big and bad? No. No, absolutely not. You have to refuse to role play. And that's what I did growing up my whole life. People would be like, I'm a bully. And I'd be like, okay, then I'm a bully too. If you're a bully, then I'm a bully. What's up? What's up? I'm going to meet you same energy. That's not a problem for me. And when I went to college, undergrad, grad school, I really tried to acclimate, right? I really tried to acclimate. Like, I already tried kindergarten to 12th grade when I was in PWIs. But when I was in college, I was like, okay, well, this is like where it will be solidified, right? That I am the Oreo that I believe, like I was like, and I didn't know, we didn't have conversations about what that was. When I was in college, we didn't have conversations about that. And I made a lot of videos about that since. Okay, so you can go back and check those out. My videos about being an Oreo, my time being an Oreo. That's why I know when people are doing it. I've been there. Why should you have to change your entire personality to be friends with somebody that's not in your culture? You're not expecting them to change their entire personality to be friends with you. But you have to change your entire personality to be friends with them for what? Because I know you know American history, and I know you know how long Black Americans have been here. So what I got to change for? What I got to acclimate into? Shouldn't you be acclimating into me? I'm the one that been here. Shouldn't you be acclimating into me? And that is the thing about America. Establishment, right? People come here on this anti-Black BS. And they think America is being white. No, it's not. What America did could not have been done without Native Americans and Black Americans. It could not have been done. And that's why it's not done anywhere else. You got white people, I put that in quotation marks because European Americans prefer to identify as the country they're from, not as white people, okay? You got white people everywhere. America did something no one else has done. That's not because of white people. You have to understand that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. When you realize there's a job to be done, you got to get the job done. And so I would never let a kid go without. I'm not going to let myself go without. If I don't have the advocate, I'll become the advocate I need to be. I've always felt that way. And I don't have a problem doing that, but you can't let people role play on you, right? And that is essentially what narcissistic mothers do, their narcissistic children do. You're trying to get approval from the golden child who doesn't even have their own mentality. They don't even have their own way of thinking. Their entire way of thinking is backwards. It's literally backwards because it's based on the approval of a parent, oftentimes not even still alive. And they're carrying out this abuse. And they're telling you, I'm the normal one, you're not normal, right? Just like your mama did, right? I'm the normal one, you're not normal. Because you won't accept what I'm doing. You won't accept how things are done here. So you're not normal. When the reality is, if their behavior was put on display for anyone else, it would be very clear that they are the dysfunctional ones. But that's what these narcissistic mothers and their children do. They create a world where they're very charismatic, right? So they'll go around making a lot of friends. They'll be very nice to friends, right? They'll be very nice to people they don't know, because the more people think that they're nice, the less you can tell people this person is off their rocker. This person is off their rocker, right? You're going to have a harder time doing that when they've been bopping around America, making friends, and doing everything they can to look like a charismatic, normal person. And then, of course, you're the black sheep, so you're not focused on behaving that way, right? And you know that, and the narcissist knows that. The narcissistic golden child who lives their life for their parents' approval. Can you imagine? People are 40 years old out here living their life for the approval of a parent who's usually dead. And they're still carrying on, abusing someone in their family, talking about I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just living. Leave us alone. If you say anything, you're wrong. If you say anything about what's going on here, you're in the wrong, because it's happened for so long. Decades. This abuse goes on, right? So, there's this notion with abusive families, with narcissistic golden children and leaders, right? And matriarchs and patriarchs, these narcissists that lead these families. There's this idea that, especially to the black sheep, right? You don't have the right to be angry. You don't have the right to be angry. You don't have the right to be angry about the things that have happened in this family, because look at how the rest of us are dealing with it, right? We're fine with it. Can you imagine being around what you know is dysfunction? You know, every one of y'all, everybody in this group has been physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused for years. You've done your own healing work and you realize, hey, that requires an immense amount of personal work. You can look and see these people haven't done that work, but you're sad that they don't accept you. Listen, the truth is, every moment that you're sad that people who don't accept you, don't approve of you, you can't say with a straight face that you accept yourself. You can't. Because if you accepted yourself, you would not be seeking the approval of people who don't even have their own train of thought. And a lot of people are this way. They're not thinking on their own. They think they're thinking on their own, but let me tell you something. Anyone who has not decompartmentalized and analyzed their childhood and separated that from who they are destined to be today, whether you loved it or appreciated it or hated it or not, understand that childhood is childhood and you're not still a child. You see, there's a developmental delay in people who don't do this work. You'll find that you feel like you're talking to 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds, tops. And that's no offense to my young audience members, okay? But there's a certain mindset that the older you get, you expect to see. And I think even here on YouTube, you can see these like older content creators in their 40s and 50s. And there's a developmental delay. It's like listening to teenagers, right? And for me, I don't want to hang out with people who don't understand that they're not still a kid. I don't. I've been around a lot of people, white, black, don't matter, right? All different ethnicities and races. And they're always lamenting their childhood, right? And I'm like, as soon as I hear someone say that, I know. I'm like, unfortunately, you're not really the person for me. You're not really a person that I can hang out with. Because there's one thing to like reminisce on your childhood and the memories and fondly reminisce on your childhood. Great. But what do you mean you want to be a kid again when you're a grown ass adult? Like, what do you mean you just want to be a kid? That is weird and creepy to me. It's freaky. I don't get it. And it's not for me. It's for other people who want to be that way. So you have to understand, like, you're not missing out on anything. If anything, these people are developmentally delayed, and all they're going to do is hinder you in your journey. So let them go, and if they can catch up later, then great. If not, then it is what it is. So speaking of developmental delays, I want to play a video that I heard this morning about something that just happened in Miami-Dade. Then Domingo a Miami in Miami-Dade. Okay? This was very startling to me, and it made me sick. I'm going to play this video for you guys about an example, to show you an example of an adult male who is developmentally delayed severely. And he's a security monitor at a school. And someone this developmentally delayed to have even passed a job interview, it blows my mind. If you guys have heard this story, let me know in the comments. But if not, I'm going to play it for you now.
Also on Just One station, a security monitor caught on camera hitting a student. That man now getting a lesson in the law and facing some very serious criminal charges. An alarming sight caught on camera. A part-time middle school security monitor seen punching a student in the hallway. It happened earlier this week at Horace Mann Middle School in El Portal. Watch again. You could see the man who was identified as 40-year-old Antoine Ruffin punched the child in his right shoulder. Ruffin was later arrested.
Oh, no, I couldn't handle that.
Outside the school, 7 News showed some parents that video, and they were shocked by what they saw.
Myself, if I'd been walking up and saw that, I would have got involved with it. And I wouldn't have had nothing. I've been like, hold up, you can't do that kid like that.
It's concerning. I'm not going to lie. It's very concerning.
The recording starts in the middle of some sort of altercation between Ruffin, who's 6'4", 220 pounds, and the student, we're told, is a 7th grader.
And that bell ring, you in my hallway.
Ruffin seen shoving the child at first. Then the boy says something we can't hear in the video, and Ruffin continues yelling.
Do what you want to bring it on, bring them on. I ain't scared of none of them. Bring them on.
Then this.
You want to go in the car?
Ruffin was arrested by Miami-Dade Schools police and charged with child abuse with no great bodily harm and battery. He posted bond, and last night he was out of jail. Here he is walking out with his shirt over his head. A spokesperson for the district sent us a statement that reads in part, Miami-Dade County Public Schools is deeply troubled and saddened by the actions of this individual, as they are not representative of our caring and supportive workforce.
If you send your kids to school, you think they're going to be safe in a school. You're not thinking that an adult is going to put his hands on your child.
The school district also says they will be taking all necessary disciplinary actions against Ruffin, which could include dismissal.
All right, so could include dismissal. I don't know if you guys heard that as clearly as I would like to have. The audio is a bit muffled on the original recording, okay? This is a 6-foot+ guy. Big, brolic dude. The child, it's clearly a child. He is bent halfway over, yelling in this kid's face. And he's a hallway monitor. Why are they hiring adults? Why are they hiring adult males to be hallway monitors? What kind of school is this? I keep telling y'all, I went to PWIs. They don't do this kind of ish in PWIs at all. This guy would have been handled at the door by the parents. Absolutely not. People aren't paying, more than they would pay in college tuition for their kids to be abused in the hallway by this big, brawlic, unhealed, unhinged, scary individual. Got the nerve to hide his face as he's leaving the jailhouse. But she was so big and bad, yelling at this kid half your size. Probably 1/6 of his weight. This is a tiny, skinny, frail kid. But you see, this dust mite is developmentally delayed. He's in the hall yelling and hitting a child because he is a child. He's a child. He's a child. Unfortunately, he's a big, old, ugly child, but he's a child. Developmentally, in his mind, he is a child, and he functions like a child. And a lot of people function like a child. A lot of people function like they did at the age where they really, really needed their parents to step up, and they didn't. A lot of people are 11, 12, 13, 14 in the head. Not in the face, in the head. You're right. Miami. Can you believe that? It was one of the most disgusting things I ever seen. This is what happens when you have people who have not done healing work from their traumatic childhoods, who have not analyzed and decompartmentalized the things that they experienced as a child. And if you're constantly living in survival mode, which a lot of Dusties live in, their leaders aren't trying to help them get out of survival mode. They just want to take their money and tell them what they want to hear. A lot of Dusty individuals are living in survival mode. There's a lot of women out there that live in survival mode. Never had a moment to not have to worry. And I'm passionate about that, and I know what that's like because that was my life for many years. I thank God that it's not my life today. I thank God, but that was my life for many years. Survival mode. And you can't heal and you can't grow in survival mode. So, you have to watch out for people who clearly show you that, they're not interested in growing and learning. They're not interested in healing. All they're interested in is projecting and lashing out. You have to be mindful of those people. And those people come in all shapes and sizes and all ethnicities, all that ish, right? Be mindful that there are people out there like that. While you're thinking about healing and growing and learning, they're thinking about self-destruction. They're still stuck in pleasing a parent that they can never please. You can't do anything with people like that, So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. That's pretty much it for that one. I just really want to get this message out there to whoever is, I feel like there's a lot of people that are dealing with feeling this way. right? You want approval and you want acceptance from your family, but you just might not be the right fit. And it is what it is, you know, because you know what you would have to do to fit in with these people. So is it worth it? Right? You have to decide that. I'm not willing to role play the black sheep so you can be the golden child, so the rest of them can be the codependent children of narcissists that they are, right? I'm not willing to role play that. I'm not willing to, because that's a shit role, right? When we talk about one-sided loyalty goes beyond what you can give to a man. That can be applied to your entire life. Are you a person who sits and never gets what they want out of interactions? You might have to move to a whole different state, baby. A whole different state of mind. That's for damn sure. You might have to literally move. You might have to leave from around the people that you're around, because people will want to typecast you and they'll want you to role play and be the person that you were when you first met them 10 years ago, right? You'll see that in friendships. Like, I'm not the person you met 10 years ago at all. Hi, I'm still willing to, interact with you knowing you're not the person but people want to be who they were 10 years ago, right? That's not growth. That's not change. It's weird. This idea of staying the same, right? Watch out for that. Watch out for that. Because what's so progressive about that, right? And watch out for people with that mentality, because people with that mentality can never love you because they can never love themselves. Again, these are idealists. These are people who live based on ideas. They believe in this certain politics. They believe in, looking a certain way, right? And presenting a certain way. They don't care about people. Now, more people are like this than most. I don't have a problem being friends and acquaintances with you, right? But like, I'm not going to give my valuable, compassionate, empathetic time to a bunch of raging narcissists. That's what I'm not going to give. I'll give a narcissist about 5 minutes. You got about 5 minutes so we can do this interaction. What's up? At the most, I'll give you an hour. I'll give you an hour, narc. I'll give you an hour. But you're not going to get my free time. You're not going to get my prayers. You're not going to get my attention. Because that's what a narc wants. Attention. Right? And control. You have to understand, why do you want to interact with an adult who wants to control what you're doing as an adult? You know how weird and sick that is? People are out here 40 years old and another adult can change how they behave and tell them what to do, but you're truly free? No, you ain't. No, you ain't. That's jail. That's prison life. And people are living like this every day, right? Every day, people who are like, I'm not going to leave, I'm not going to cut ties and go no contact with these narcissists, right? I'm not going to go no contact with the narcissist, which is the only thing you can do with a narcissist, by the way. There's nothing else you can do. A lot of people don't want to do that. And they think that they can make it work, and you never will. You're never going to be let out of that role. In order for them to be the golden child, they need you to be the black sheep. They're not going to let you have your moment in the sun. They're not going to let you shine for a day. They're not. They're going to guilt you every time the spotlight's on you, because why wasn't it on me? And I did so much for you, right? Like, what? It's my birthday. It's my birthday. They'll get mad at you for being celebrated on your day, right? And these are the people that you feel sad about not having more of a relationship with. These are the people that you miss. You can't miss a narcissist. They're going to be the same person they were when you see them again. The same. They don't change. So you owe it to yourself, if you want to change and you want to grow, to free yourself from the shackles of approval of people who don't even accept themselves. Now keep that in mind, all right? I thank you guys so much for joining me. Please thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.